Okay, a day trip. A day trip from Quito is the Pichincha volcanoes. The Pichincha volcanoes are magnificent to see from a distance, but even better up close. You would take the El Tenerifico, which is a gondola, uh, and it's sort of like a cable car, and you would take that up, and once you get up to the top, once you get up to not the top, you're going to hike once you get up there. But again, it depends on your level of what you want to do. You don't have to hike at all. You can actually stay right there. There's a strange little amusement park, and when you go, you'll understand by a strange little amusement park. There's a little restaurant. There's some, you can look out and see Quito. But if you do take the time to hike up, it's about a 2 to 3 hour hike, depending on your level. It's not a difficult hike. However, you should make sure that you have on a proper hiking boot. I would not go in a sneaker, although people do it. I see it all the time. I've seen it all the time. I would not. I would get something with a little traction because, you can get an area that's a little rocky. One thing that is so important to remember is it's cold up there. It's cold. You've gone up in the elevations. You're going into the Andes now. So it's cold. So you want to layer. You want to make sure you have that, maybe that warm vest and maybe even a nice pair of gloves, a scarf, or a windbreaker. But layer. Absolutely be prepared. Because it's going to be windy. It's going to be windy. I remember when we hiked and we got to the top, it was so windy. I thought literally I was going to be pushed and fall over. I mean, because it was just so incredibly windy. I don't think I've ever quite felt wind so strong before. But anyway, the Pichincha volcanoes are beautiful. They are part of the Andes mountain range, and it is, and if you want to do something, you're in Quito, you don't have, tons of time, but you do have, an extra day that maybe you want to see a little bit of nature and get out there and feel like you've been into the Andes a little bit, then I would say absolutely do this and take this day trip. There are people that take day trips to my next destination that I'm going to talk about, which is Cotacachi and Otavalo. And I'm going to actually talk about them in another blog. But I want to mention the wonderful, imposing volcano that is Cotopaxi. And Cotopaxi is, it's not something that you're going to go up and hike for the day. It's not something that most people are going to go up and hike at all. It is, you have to be a mountain, you have to have a little experience in mountain climbing here. It is not something that's done over a day. It's something that's done over a weekend. It's something that you have to have, the right equipment for. You've got to go with the right team, ice pick, the whole thing. Many people do not make the summit to Cotopaxi. Some people just try. So I'm not going to say a lot about it other than it is absolutely beautiful. Right now, I think I had mentioned this in one of my beginning blogs, it has become a little active, so let's hope it doesn't get too active. But it is absolutely lovely at a distance, but I'm not going to say too much more about it because I don't think that the majority of you are going to be mountain climbing up Cotopaxi. But if you feel that you're in that level, then that's a whole other trip, and that's a whole other, day and story. Okay, so next we're going to go off to somewhere where all of you can go, and while you can certainly go for a day, I would say that if you went for the weekend, you would come back thanking me. If I, as your travel consultant, were advising you about going to Quito, I would cut out a piece of time to have you go for the weekend to Cotacachi. I will explain why in my next video, and we're off.